Hey, welcome back to Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Vinny, and we're talking about how Michael Burry, Dr. Michael Burry of The Big Short, is a giant liar. And his Twitter account is useless garbage.
Woo, coming on hot. All right.
Two stupid guys trade stocks.
I was not
All
prepared
right.
for that.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We follow him. Honestly, a lot of people on our channel kind of care about his opinion. He's got a little bit of an interesting take on some stuff sometimes. But he's these days kind of devolved into being like the Dr. Seuss of the stock market, talking in rhymes and contradicting himself. It's rather funny. He put out this tweet yesterday saying, "I am not short," which is kind of funny, given his recent talk about how these markets are overvalued and the greatest bubble of all time by 2 orders of magnitude, like just all this stuff he's talked about the stock market being overvalued, but yet he's telling us now he's not short. And then he had a little tweet that was kind of the opposite text a little bit not that long ago. All right.
Directly opposite. Like,
Yeah.
couldn't be more
Well,
opposite.
it was subject to interpretation. Okay. I'll leave it at that. Now, I couldn't exactly find a reliable measure, but I found this one website here that says Michael Burry is actually 1.7 meters tall in height. So is that short? That's the real question. For those of us in America, speak of freedom units, if you will, that's approximately 5'7" Okay, and the average height of American is 5'9". So clearly, he is actually short, whether or not he's willing to admit it.
I wonder how many people have never seen our channel and are think that we're horribly misunderstanding what he means by short. Because, like, I get to see people comment to be like, you guys are fucking idiots.
I mean, see the channel name. We are. So this is going back to his kind of portfolio here, okay? So this is from wellwisdom.com. This is representing the assets under management, basically the portfolio. It's not a great representation, though, because it includes the value of options contracts, all right? So that's where you get to this crazy peak here when he had like massive amount of options in his portfolio. But if you look at kind of pre the options revolution, if you will, yeah, it was managing a few hundred million, and now he's managing a very very small amount of that. So majority of his portfolio is not visible to us. U.S. SEC guidelines require kind of anyone that manages I forget exactly over a certain dollar amount to disclose quarterly basis any long positions and options positions. He doesn't have to disclose shorts, doesn't have to disclose anything he holds that is actually foreign stock. All right.
Right.
This was his most recent portfolio update. We did a separate video on this, but this is what it is if you're curious. All right, back to the tweets. This is the tweet that was kind of question of exact opposite, and this was a matter of 3 weeks ago. All right, you're talking about you have no idea how short I am. I kind of joked about it in that video. Was like, do you mean do you think he's trying to say like you have no idea how short I am, as in like, the Big Short 2.0, because that's what he's famous for, right? With the Big Short 1
Yeah,
or
100%.
2008. Or did you mean he has like you have no idea because like you don't know anything because my portfolio barely shows anything? That's now maybe the correct take on what he actually originally said, and I did say that back in that video.
Yeah, this is kind of a huge bummer because I mean, he's known as being kind of a contrarian, right? Like when stuff sort of is shooting
Yeah.
up. I don't know why he's playing these stupid games. Like what do you have to gain from this other than make people mad at you?
I mean, I guess I think it's one of those deals where you talk in very vague terms, so it makes it you can reinterpret it in many different ways, so that it can be like I take something from this that may actually accurately represent what actually happens in the future, kind of like a horoscope. You ever read a horoscope?
No.
Oh,
No, I have
okay.
not.
This is more Dylan relatable then. Have you ever read the little saying that comes in a fortune cookie?
Yes.
Yeah, and like sometimes it makes sense for your life, right?
Give us a like and subscribe.
Yeah, there you go. Michael Burry, the fortune cookie of investors. All right. But yeah, there is some grain of truth to this always, which I get. He's talking about how the Federal Reserve basically is put themselves in this position where they're unlikely to and would lose a massive amount of capital and kind of like really disrupt future generations of the American economy if they were to come to the rescue, so to speak, right? They're raising rates right now, aggressively trying to control inflation. They're also offloading the balance sheet, which they have trillions still to do if they were to get back to even pre-pandemic level.
Yeah,
All right.
like 4 trillion,
Yeah, yeah,
like a lot.
exactly. So they're very limited in what their tools would be to be have a stimulatory effect. Yet people keep kind of like waiting and pending on this whole like pivot situation. And this week we got a massive bull run when Powell merely stated, "No, we may be slowing the pace of hikes soon."
Yeah, let alone pivoting, just worse at a like a slower rate.
Yeah,
Like I don't,
exactly.
it's crazy.
So, this was the tweet he put out actually that day where this kind of whole market bull sentiment happened there, talking about how dependent like the market has become on the words of one man. Yeah, and I don't know if you meant the right ducking here. What do you think? Was this iPhone autocorrect?
Uh, yeah, actually, I don't know why iPhone does this. Like, can we all? This has nothing to do with the video, but it's so stupid. Like, we're adults. I can't say fuck. Like, what the?
Yeah,
This is stupid. I hate it.
I completely agree. I think it's hilarious. We got to get Tim Cook on this, okay? We'll send him an email. But that was the basic point I wanted to make. So we have a couple of things coming up. You can get rid of the slides that are kind of important pivot potential points, right? Next, it's not this week; it's next week. We have both the Fed meeting and the CPI number for November coming out. All right, I didn't put slides up for that, but that's
No,
what's
no,
coming
you're
out.
good. I
Yeah.
just I have.
Oh,
like,
you're looking at
cues
the
here.
chart. Yeah. So it's December 13th and 14th is the Fed meeting, and CPI is December 13th. So on that first day, you're going to get massive movement there, and then probably followed up the next day, depending on what Powell decides to do.
Yeah, and then if you haven't seen, we're right at the top of that pivot level and right above the 200 moving average. So this is a fairly important, strong, 2 weeks that could really dictate what's about to happen overall. So we have no idea. I'm short as tits right now. Like I'm so short. There's so much money, but if I lose, I lose. So.
Yeah, unlike Michael Burry, we'll actually tell you that we've got bearish bets on. I still have a long position too, so I'm kind of more,
Oh,
I would say,
yeah.
like market neutral theory.
I have
in
tons of
theory,
longs.
but yeah, exactly.
So
But definitely have some short-term short positions.
yeah, I have gotten this a lot where they're like, you shouldn't be gambling. This trading and investing are different. So overall, I'm bullish because at some point the market has to go higher in the next 100 years, right? So I'm still buying shares. I'm still buying Meta. I'm still buying Baba. I'm still buying Google. But I'm trading in different time frames, shorting via put options. So,
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, let us know what you guys think about this in the comments down below.
later, guys.